Hello everyone and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. Today is going to be a more health-conscious review. I'm going to be taking a look at Nongshim's Shin Light, air-dried noodle soup. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these reviews. So if you've been following my channel since the beginning or have maybe gone back to watch old episodes, you probably know that Nongshim Shin was basically the spicy soup that got me hardcore into Korean ramyun. And while I generally buy Paldo Namja or Shin Black, Gold, or Green way more often now, every once in a while I still grab a couple packs of Shin when I'm at Target or Walmart since it's cheap and it's still pretty damn delicious. This light variety, though, might be a game changer. Now, Nongshim's website and the packaging here claim that this has a cleaner, more refreshing taste. It uses air-dried noodles as opposed to their usual fried noodles, and they also tout 75% less fat and 25% less calories than regular Shin. So this is nice if you're being health conscious. If you'd like to score some Shin Light, be warned that these are not quite as easy to find as Shin or Shin Black. Your best bet is to check your local Asian markets, but you can find these at some Walmarts or on Amazon and other online retailers, and the normal price for a 4-pack is around $10 to $12, and of course you should expect markups from Amazon Marketplace sellers. So unfortunately, just like everything else marketed as a healthier alternative to something you love, expect to pay a little bit more for these than you would pay for a 4-pack of Shin. Boo. Now, compared to Shin, while this package may be lighter on the fat and calories, it is still about the same amount of sodium. That clocks in at 1,800 milligrams, or 78% of your recommended daily intake. So for everyone concerned about sodium, yeah, this is still a little bit high. Okay, so if you devour Shin on the regular, you're going to notice right away that some things are a little different here. So here's the air-dried noodles. They're a lot thinner and flatter than what you get normally in Shin. They also weigh about an ounce less than what you get in the regular Shin pack. They're going to rehydrate differently than the oil-fried ones. In fact, in their current form, they kind of almost look like the same shape as Nissin cup noodles. So thinner, flatter texture. Then we've got a soup powder, a flake packet, and something that I think is pretty unique among Shin products, a spicy seasoning oil. That's pretty cool. Now there is still dried red chili pepper in the powder though, so I don't think the separation of the oil is going to drastically reduce the spice level, but I will make sure to try the soup first without the oil during the review portion just to get a good idea of it. Aside from the spicy seasoning oil, the ingredients do seem to be largely the same as Shin. So the soup powder has things like beef extract, chili pepper, soy sauce, and anchovy extract, and the flake packet has bok choy, mushroom, carrot, and green onion. So aside from the extra seasoning oil, there's really no surprises here if you're well versed in Shin. Time to cook. All right, and here we go. And I'm going to be honest, smell-wise, this is pretty much exactly like the regular Shin. It's got that kind of soy beef mushroom vibe that you get out of the normal red pack. No complaints there, smells great. As promised, I'm going to taste it first before I put the oil in. So let's see what the spice level is like on its own. Yeah, that's about as spicy as the normal Shin red. So this oil is only going to make things spicier. So that's pretty cool for those of you who crave more spice out of this. Alright, nothing really earth-shattering about that smell. Very basic chili oil. Also not very spicy on its own. Surprising. Alright, we'll give it a stir. Make sure that oil is well mixed in. And so hopefully you can see that oil did give it some additional texture on the top of the broth. And speaking of texture, the noodles plumped up just like I predicted they would. Yeah, they look a lot more like Nongshim's regular noodles now, but I'm assuming they're going to have a different texture and no oily aftertaste. So I'm excited to try this. Let me dig in. Okay, noodle score first. And for me, air-dried noodles are the best kind of noodles. There is a distinct difference in both their texture and their flavor compared to the ones that come fried. There's no oily aftertaste, just a great al dente mouthfeel. This is the standard by which I'm going to hold all Korean noodles from now on. These are excellent. The best noodles I've had from Nongshim, even better than their potato noodles, and on par with the soba noodles that I tried last year that I loved. 10 out of 10 for the noodles, easily. Now for the spice score, I graded the original Shin a 6 out of 10. Before adding the chili oil in here, I would also say that this broth is a 6 out of 10. And the chili oil is not adding anything that much spicier to this experience, but there is one key difference. That oil, when you're slurping noodles, ends up on your lips. And so my lips have a tingle that I don't normally associate with regular Shin broth. So I'm going to give these a 6.5 out of 10 with the spicy seasoning oil added in. It's just the tiniest bit spicier because of that. And now, so the flavor of the broth, I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure, that broth powder is the exact same broth powder you get with Shin already. And what that means is it is a salty, beefy, umami-forward chili broth. The seasoning oil is not adding anything different to that other than the oily texture at the top and the tingle on my lips. And so if you're already a fan of Shin broth, you're going to love this. If you're someone who's tried Shin in the past and don't like the flavor, nothing about this broth is going to change that experience for you. The few flakes that I found in here, rehydrated very nicely. Some shiitake mushroom right there, big chunk of carrot. These all came back fine. The problem I have with them is the exact same that I have with Shin in general, not enough. So if you cook this for yourself, you're going to want to add your own vegetables, some ramen bay. I love putting ramen bay in Shin. This is a perfect reason why. There's just not enough dried flakes in here for my liking. So aside from the amount of dried flakes, there's nothing really to complain about other than to say that I still prefer the taste of other broths in this style that I've discovered since starting this channel compared to Shin. So Shin black, gold, green, namja, that kind of stuff. In a perfect world, if I could marry these noodles with the Shin black broth, I'd be in heaven. It would be like a perfect 10. But as it stands, it's still really good. These noodles combined with Shin's regular broth, plus that additional garnish of chili oil, I think this is worth an 8 out of 10 as an overall score. You know what? I'm going to take that back. The fact that this tastes as good as it does with the reduced amount of fat and calories that Nongshim managed to squeeze out of this, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I almost forgot about the healthier aspect of this. The sodium's still high, but I mean, I'm not one to sneeze at reduced fat and calories, especially when it tastes this good. So yeah, let's call this an 8.5 out of 10. Really remarkable flavor considering it's healthier. Yeah, this is a treat if you're already a fan of Shin. Between the air-dried noodles and the slightly healthier nutritional aspect, and that little extra glossiness from the seasoning oil, I would recommend giving this a try if you spot it. Is it worth the premium price over regular Shin? Well, from a texture and flavor perspective, yes, I think so. Like, if your local Asian market has a steady supply of Shin Light, and you're okay with the fact that it will cost more than just going to Walmart for a pack of regular Shin, then I think you should just start buying this one instead of regular Shin. It is that good. Alright, so I'm going to go dress this up for lunch with some more veggies and protein. Unless something last minute comes up that I want to review, the next video is going to be a spicy product line that I've had requested a couple times now, and so you're going to want to check that out if you're a fan of spicy noodles. I will see you next time on Noodle Journey.